is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my Spreadshirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about ISO Joe, probably the #1 contender to get called and get an NBA roster spot, and we're going to talk about that today as Jamal Crawford got picked up. Michael B. Easley, I'm him, has got picked up. You even look at people like Dante Hall. You look at other guys like Bob Mute. A lot of these guys have got picked up pretty quick, and with some of the ones that I was surprised, like a Beasley or a Crawford would be such a priority when you do have Joe Johnson still left on the court, who can still score the basketball and create shots off the dribble. And even though none of them are really defensive players, when you look at a guy that can literally step up, a guy that you can depend on, a guy that has proven over his careers that he can remain and stay healthy, it makes sense to pick up a guy like Joe Johnson, who has been available the whole entire season. He was supposed to get picked up by the Detroit Pistons, but they let him go before the season started. I thought that was a good pickup for them just because they needed outside shooting. They needed a little bit of shot creation, especially because a lot of their shot creators and playmakers ended up getting injured throughout the season. But I also had thought that the Pistons could use an 8th or a 9th man that can give them 10 to 15 minutes whenever they need it and still make a significant or even a marginal impact, which is better than nothing. When you're picking up a guy that's almost 40 years old, you're not expecting him to play big minutes or, play throughout the whole season significant minutes. You're picking them up just in case you need somebody on that bench that you can rely on and depend on, and just plug him right in to the situation and he will produce. And I think Joe Johnson still can do that. That's why I do think that he will eventually get picked up. I'm still shocked that it has took him so long to get picked up, unless he's looking at his offers and trying to go to the team that he wants to go to, because some of these guys, they just happy and blessed to just to have another chance to play in the NBA. And even when we look at a team like the Brooklyn Nets, for them to pick up a guy like Lance Thomas and the other guys, you would think that they will try to get the best talent that they can get, just because they're missing so much of their offense with guys missing because of COVID or because they pulled out. You would think that they will try to get the Jamal, the Beasleys, and the Joe Johnson type of players, even though they might not go anywhere, even though they might be a first-round exit. You would think that would be the primary thing that they try to focus after Bob Mute left. It really ain't no ace defenders left on this team left out in the open market to pick up. So I'm excited to see what happens in these seeding games. I think that the NBA will be rusty. I think the games won't be as great. It won't have the excitement that you'll usually see in the NBA game, just because the fans won't be there cheering and having fun, and the music won't really be a factor just because the fans won't be there. But when it comes to a guy that can get the job done, when it comes to a guy that can literally be trusted and can really hit shots off the ball or on the ball, or even just get you a bucket, which is important, I think Joe Johnson is probably the best guy out there still, that has proven even in the big three that he can still ball out. And I think that that's very important when you're trying to finish up the rest of your roster and you're trying to pick the talent that you can particularly rely on. But when I look at the teams that are left, which isn't that Russell Westbrook has contracted the coronavirus and he's going to have to be quarantined. We look at Bruno, who broke the quarantine rule, and now he has to, sit out some games too. It is still a couple teams that you never know what's going to happen. you never know who's going to be out. And Joe Johnson should be one of the top 3 players that they should call to replace one of their spots. I even look at a team like the Blazers. I'm surprised they didn't try to go get ISO Joe just because they needed that wing help now that um, they ended up losing Rodney Hood, and then they ended up losing another guy. You would think that they would have had picked up Joe Johnson so they can keep Carmelo at the 4. It doesn't improve their defense, but it gives them a guy that is big, that is strong, that can knock down shots for them. Even if Dame and CJ is on the bench for a small amount of time, at least you know he can still go out there and score. But I'm surprised that they didn't pick up Joe Johnson. That was one thing that people said, who are they going to put at the wing? Who are they going to put at the 3? Joe Johnson could have slid in there and took that position, especially when Beasley was off the board. You look at the Grizzlies; they're pretty straight. The Pelicans, they can use a wing if they can get a roster spot available. They can use another wing on their team. The Spurs, I can see them picking up another wing. And obviously, when you look at the Mavericks, depending on what happens with them, it would be good for them to have another guy off the bench that they can use, that can come in and allow them to play different type of lineups and put different type of people on the court. Just because Joe Johnson sometimes can play the 4 or 2, depending on who's the other 4 on the opposing side and who you have on the roster. Not who you have on the roster, who you have out there on the court. You can hide him and just use him as another weapon on the offensive end. Even though Dallas doesn't have the greatest perimeter defenders, that's something that still could happen. Even the Wizards would have been a good pickup for him. They wouldn't be contending for a championship, but it will allow him to play in games that's meaningful, which is the seeding games, which can help them take the Orlando or the Brooklyn spot. And the last team that was interesting that can possibly pick him up is the 76ers. I think that would have been a good spot for him too, just because they looking for outside shooting. They're looking for perimeter help that can go alongside Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Yes, I know they have Tobias Harris and Josh Richardson, but it's always good to be safe than sorry. Just because if one of them go down, they can always just say, let's pick up another wing in Joe Johnson and plug him into the bench role or play him about 20 minutes. And I think that Joe Johnson still can play 20 minutes in meaningful games just because you're not going to rely on him to be the offense. You're just going to rely on him to be out there to knock down shots. And like I said, Joe Johnson definitely can still do that, whether they're contested, whether he has to get to the paint and hit a floater, or whether that's just making the right play in certain situations, whether that's making the right pass, knocking down the spot up 3, or putting the ball on the floor a little bit, knocking down a mid-range jumper or a floater. That's better than nothing. At least Joe Johnson could contribute somehow at the end of the day. So Beasley, Jamal Crawford, and all those guys off the board. Joe Johnson is probably the best target, like I said, right now for somebody to come right in and be dependable. I do see some particular teams that can use him, like I stated, but it's all about them really being able to negotiate and get the job done. Is Joe Johnson just looking to play again? Is he just looking to contend for a title? Or is he just going to be patient and wait for the right team and the right situation to open up and then take that? He has power right now because he is one of the more valuable free agents right now. He is a wing. He can create. He can shoot. And he is a guy that can play multiple positions, the 2 to 3 and sometimes the 4, and still be effective and still be a guy that can really help in minor marginal role / minutes. But other than that, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Joe Johnson is going to get back to the league? Do you think that he's going to be done? Do you think he can help a team? Do you think he's basically washed up at this point? Or do you think Joe Johnson got a little bit left in the tank and he can really help a team win a game? He can help a team close a game, or he can get hot and knock down some shots and really help them get a little lead, and then they can just carry with their starters the rest of the game and close it out. And that could be something valuable too. We've seen DeMarcus Cousins. A lot of people gave up on DeMarcus Cousins last year, and he basically helped the Golden State Warriors win the finals game. Even though they would lose the series, he helped them win the game and gave them hope that they can still stay in it and potentially win that series at that point in time. And I do feel like Joe Johnson can still be that type of guy on a team that will give him minutes and utilize him and let him do him and play his game. But other than that, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description and comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description and comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Like the video if you already liked the video. Thanks for the love and the support. If you haven't, like and share. It helps the channel grow. Not only that, check out my older videos on my channel. Click my name, Basketball Analysis. There you can find over 1,000 videos that you can pick from. I do break down rookies, legends, and even NBA players, and I do cover summer league. Also cover free agency, trade deadlines, season previews, playoff predictions. So if you love basketball, you can't get enough, or you need a daily video about something, this is the channel for you, as I do make videos every single day. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy your Monday. I will be back with another video tomorrow on Tuesday. So, you know, maybe Joe Johnson will be picked up before then, or later today or tomorrow. If not, he can just hold out hope that he'll get another chance to play in the NBA, which he says he wants to do. So other than that, be prepared. Check out my older videos. Thanks for the love and the support just watching the video. And at the end of the day, I'm excited to see the playoffs start, and my predictions will be coming up. That's why it gives you a reason to subscribe. Enjoy y'all Monday. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm going.